Hip thrusters and glute bridges. Great exercises to build the glutes and the butt, but are you doing them right? Watch this video and find out. Hey guys, it's Fahad here from Fit with Fahad and TFF Fitness, and today we're going to talk about the hip thrust and the glute bridge, explain the difference between the two, and explain why they're such popular glute building exercises, but also what you need to do in order to make them effective and what most people are doing wrong. So let's start off with the glute bridge. The difference between the glute bridge and the glute thrust is the glute bridge starts with your back on the floor, and it's a great beginner's exercise. So with the glute bridge, what you're going to want to do is you're going to have your back flat on the floor, your legs slightly turned out, okay? And if you haven't watched my previous videos on glute training, especially the hyperextension video in the introduction to the glute anatomy, you really need to watch that to understand why I'm telling you to do what we're doing here. Because you're going to be using the cues that are going to really effectively contract the glute muscles the way they were designed to be contracted. So the first thing you want to do is have your legs turned out slightly on the outside. You want to push down a little bit with your feet, okay, so you get your hamstrings activated without sort of like lifting up your lumbar spine. We don't want to work from the lumbar spine, we want to work from the glutes. Just as we did in hyperextension, we want to think about keeping the glutes contracted and then driving the hips up, okay, squeezing the glutes. We want to make sure it's the glutes doing the work and not our lower back. So there's going to be a point, if I don't use my lower back to come up, and I just squeeze my glutes and drive my hips forward, and I squeeze them as much as I can. This is as high as I can get. This is the end of my active range for my glutes. Anything beyond this, that's going to be my lumbar spine contributing to that movement. Yes, I can feel a little bit more contraction in my glutes, but I definitely feel a lot more on my lumbar spine. But it's not much more on my glutes. In fact, there's very little. You just feel a little bit more, okay? Now, we want to make sure that the lumbar spine is not initiated by keeping it flat on the floor to start with. As you come up, making sure your glutes are nice and contracted, making sure it's just your glutes moving, squeeze until you can't move them anymore without lifting the lower back up. Now, this is the glute bridge. You can do variations of a glute bridge, like a single leg glute bridge to make it a little bit harder. Okay? If you want to, once you get used to that, you can add some load. You can put a plate on your lap and come up like this. Or you can use a sandbag like this. This one got a bit of a leak in it. Okay, coming up, again thrusting to the end range of your glutes and slowly coming down. Squeeze hard on the way up, slowly coming down. Remember, tempo is really important when you're doing these movements. Okay, again, remember, we don't want to come too high. We want to go to the end range of the contraction of the glutes. So let's talk about the hip thrust. So the hip thrust is a great glute exercise made very popular by hip and glute guy Brett Contreras. And unfortunately, I'm going to be a little bit unpolitically incorrect here, saying you get to see a lot of people doing this wrong on Instagram and on the internet, on YouTube and social media. It's usually the ladies that are doing it wrong, especially the ladies that are, how should I say it, capitalizing off their delicious derrieres. Now, I'm going to show you the right way to do it, but I'm going to tell you the wrong way to do it as well. Just as we did on the glute bridge, we don't want to initiate the lumbar spine. We don't want the lower back to do any of the work. Now, you might have a glute bridge machine, a hip thrust machine at your gym. I don't have one here at the studio, but we can make do with a power cage and a bench. Okay, I'm going to show you two variations of using the bench. Firstly, I'm going to show you the usual way you see it, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of a variation if you find it struggle to get comfortable on the bench, which is really, really neat. Okay, so the first thing we need is we need to get the bar in the right position. I've got it on these barriers so that I don't go down too low and I don't injure myself and I can get in and out safely. What I've put here, I don't think you see the camera, is I've put two mats to elevate my heels a little bit so I can get a better range of motion. When we go down in this position, we want to set ourselves up again, similar to the glute bridge. We want our legs slightly pointing out. We want just the bottom of our shoulder blades to be on the edge of the bench. We don't want to be too high, otherwise we're not going to get good range of motion. We don't want to be too low, otherwise we'll become uncomfortable. We just want the bottom of our scapula on the edge of the bench, okay? Now one thing that will make this exercise much more comfortable and save you guys a lot of pain are one of these squat bar pads or hip thrust pads, okay? These you can buy these on Amazon, they're about £5–10. You just pop them on the bar like that, okay? They've got a nice little groove here for your neck when you're doing squats, and for the gentlemen, for your bits when you're doing your hip thrust. So, we're going to get into position. We're going to bring the bar in alignment with our hips, okay? So for me, it'll be around here. Okay, from this position, what we're going to do is we're going to keep exactly the same cues that we did on the glute bridge. We're going to have legs tightly pointing out, pushing down and putting the heels slightly back to initiate the hamstrings, keeping the glutes contracted. And again, from this position, we're going to drive our hips forward until we get to that end range. We're not going to go any higher than the end range, or we're going to start initiating our lumbar back. We don't want the lumbar back engaged. Okay, so for me, it's around here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my chin tucked in, keep my abs tense, and come down. Now, if I keep my abs tense, what this does, this stops me from going beyond my range of motion, my active range of motion for my glutes. I come up again, thrust up, squeeze, slowly down, keep my abs tense, keep my chin tucked down, looking down my torso, again, up, squeeze, slowly down, one more, up and squeeze, and slowly down. Now, I'll take the bar away from me just to show you why that's important. Okay, and hopefully you can see on camera here. Okay, I know this is in the way here, if I go down without my abs contracted, I can go down very far down. But again, as you can see, my spine is flexing, my thoracic spine is flexing, my lumbar spine is extending. So initial movement from here to here, that thrust there, that's going to be my lower back and my back doing the work, not the glutes. We don't want the back to get involved. We want to keep it strictly to the glutes. So if I keep my chin tucked in, my abs tight, and now when I come down, there'll be a point, if I keep my glutes contracted as well, there'll be a point where I just don't feel comfortable going any lower. This is where I know where I've reached that end range for the bottom position of this exercise. Now when I come up, I can squeeze up and really effectively work the glutes to their active range of motion without initiating any of the lower back or the thoracic spine getting involved to do this lifting work. That is crucial when we're doing a hip thrust, to understand that little concept. Now, if you find it uncomfortable to get into this position and you need a little bit of help, check this little tip out. If you've got a decline bench like I have, put it on a decline, position the bench this way. Okay, now you want to have just the top of your bum over the edge. This time now when I bring the bar in, okay, against my hips, I can get into that thrust position, thrust up again, nice tight contraction, slowly come down, keep my abs tight, chin tucked in, and come up. And this time, it's a lot more comfortable to be in this position than the previous position. The only thing you'll find that this position might make you struggle with is getting full range of motion. But if this is something that you're finding uncomfortable, and you need a little bit of help and support, especially if you're new to this exercise, you're just starting out and you want to maximize the stability, do it with a decline bench like this. I hope this has given you a lot of inspiration and information how to do the glute thrust, the hip thrust, and the glute bridge far more effectively than you would have seen previously. If you like this video, like I always say, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, like the video, leave me a comment, tell all your friends. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Take care. Sweat more, sweat less. I'll see you soon.